Hello, and welcome to my channel. This is Elise here of Plan with Elise, and oh my goodness, this is probably one of the most exciting videos that I have filmed for YouTube because I have my book, the book that I wrote this year, to share with you and talk about and do a little bit of a flip through and all of that. So if you have been watching my channel this year, I've been talking about a big project, and for the first probably 6 to 7 months of the year, I was pretty vague about it because I was just saying, there's a big project I'm working on, there's a big project, and I couldn't share more details because my publishing company said I couldn't. So let me talk a little bit about how this all came to be, and then we will dive in a little bit. So first things first, this book will be released on Tuesday, November 26th. It will be available at Walmart, Barnes & Noble, Target, Amazon, Books A Million, wherever books are sold. I've searched this book online and seen it at so many different retailers, bookstores I've never heard of, and it is so beyond exciting. So last October, November, I was approached by a publishing company called Source Books, who is an imprint of Callisto Publishing, who is owned by Penguin Random House, to talk about an opportunity to write a book as someone who is in the budgeting space and loves savings challenges and has experience writing. If you don't know, my college degree is in literature and creative writing, and they asked if I might be interested in working with them to publish a book. And so I spent probably December through April doing the writing and the mapping out of the book. And then from April forward, the company was getting everything together, putting it together, doing the cover, and you'll see inside the illustrations and all of that. And now, when I'm filming this, we are in October. I finally have the book in my hands, and I am so beyond excited for it to come out. So let's shift some of these extra copies over and talk about the specs. So this book is 8.5 by 11, cash stash activity book, 75 money savings challenges from $50 to $10,000 plus by Elise Ratner. And then this side here is so cool because when it's on a bookshelf, it has my name on it, cash stash activity book. And then the back talks about meet your savings goals and have fun doing it. Saving money doesn't have to feel like a chore. The Cash Stash activity book is full of easy and slightly silly ways to stock up on cold hard cash so you can achieve your money goals. Whether you're playing savings challenge card games or coloring in illustrations to track your progress, this workbook guides you through 75 activities that can save you anywhere from $50 to over $10,000, talking about how you spend and save what you need, and it is a user-friendly design. Each activity is printed on single-sided perforated paper so your writing and shading won't bleed onto other pages, and you can easily tear out activities to make copies or work on them anywhere. This book cost $14.99. We wanted a really affordable price point, and then it talks about me. So let's dive in a little bit. Okay, so we open the book. Oh my goodness. It's so crazy to finally be here showing it to you. Cash Stash activity book. And then we have the copyright information, and we have the the contents. I was reading this part, no part of this book may be reproduced in any form by electronic, and I was like, oh, am I not allowed to do a flip through? But I feel like I am because it's my book. I think that I can. So we have an introduction. So it talks a little bit about how I got into the financial space and needed to pay off my debt, the benefits of cash stashing, and then instructions on how to use this book. And then also a tip for if you are not someone who wants to use cash, it is no problem. Then we have a budget table. So the idea here is we're still in the how to use this book section. Using the following table, list your monthly expenses for each category. If you're unsure if you're spending in any category, go back through the last 12 months of bank or credit card statements to see what you regularly spend on any specific category, such as groceries. So this isn't just about saving, but like areas to kind of set up a budget for yourself. And then we have a fun personality quiz. What kind of spender are you? And after you take the quiz, you'll be able to find out whether you are the dreamer, the perfectionist, the adventurer, or the sharpshooter. And based on these answers, it'll give you tips, or I'll give you tips on how you could use the book. Then we have some tips and materials, and then we're sectioned off. So the first section is $50 to $500 activities. I'm not going to show every single activity, but we are going to show like a little bit here and there. So at the beginning of each set of challenges, like each dollar frame, we have a big question, kind of like a prompt for you. So the first one is, when we set goals to accomplish in a certain time, we need to think about what life will look like for the next 30 to 60 days. Let's do a quick visualization. Set a timer for 90 seconds, close your eyes, and think about your goal. Go into as many details as you can, sights, smells, sounds, etc., then write them out here. And then we have our first challenge. So again, these pages are perforated. And what's also really nice about the perforation is that there is a margin here. Let's see what the margin is. We have a ½ inch, a little bit more than a ½ inch margin. So if you wanted to punch this and put it in your planner, you can. Because it's 8.5 by 11, it would fit in a big happy planner. If you wanted to punch it for a classic, you could. You just have to like fold up part of the page, but it is doable. You might actually be able to cut down here. What's happy planner is 7 by 9.25. So actually this design here, you could get to 9.25 pretty easily this way as well. You would just be cutting off the bottom and a little bit here at the top if you wanted to include this. So it is doable. I think a mini is going to be tough. Now, this is probably my favorite part, and we actually went back and forth a lot about what this was going to look like, but there's two prompt lines. What am I saving for, and when is my deadline? So for example, I might be saving for a new dining room light fixture, which is something I want to buy at some point soon. So I would write, what am I saving for a new dining room light fixture? When is my deadline? If my hope is to have a New Year's party, my deadline is, let's say, December 26th, to give some time to hang it. So, actually today is, what's today? October 29th. So I have a little bit under 2 months, and that tells me how hard I need to go on this challenge. So this challenge is skip the coffee shop and learn how to make your favorite drink at home. Color in a line each day you don't head to the drive-through coffee line. Now, for someone like me, I never really go to get coffee because I work from home. So what I might do is separate these lines. So if we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. So I might do like, okay, I have 2 months to meet this savings goal, which means that if I break that down by 30, let's say 60 days, breaking it down by 30 lines means that I need to put $2 away a day. Even if you're not a coffee drinker and you have the ability to follow this prompt, you can save $2 a day and color these in. The fact that these pages are single-sided is great because, again, when you color them in, you're not going to be bleeding at all. And then we just have like more, and it always tells you what the goal is at the end of it. What I also think is really fun, because I gave the first copies to my niece and nephew and I signed it for them, is that if the goal amount isn't doable, right? Like when I gave this to my niece and nephew, I don't expect them to save $450 right now. Maybe when they're older, but not right now. You can always change this goal amount and change these numbers to make them work for you. So we have a lot of really fun ones. Now, I had asked on Instagram recently if you had any questions about the process, and I think it must have been a busy day online because there weren't many questions, but one of my favorites came from Kelly, who had asked how I came up with 75 different challenges, because I did come up with 75 and it was hard, but I really used inspiration around my life. So actually, the first challenge I made was this one because I love pizza and I wanted something that was pizza themed. And I would kind of like walk around my house and look for inspiration, or everywhere I would go, I would look around. I'm like, okay, my closet. I need to declutter my closet. We're going to do some decluttering challenges. We have a really fun game of Saveopoly. Let's work on lowering the electric bill. Let's do a game. Like there's a lot of really fun, different ones here. So the plan. So I was sitting on, most of this book was written on my couch, sitting on my living room couch, being away from all the distractions of my office. And I would lay on my couch with my laptop and just look around my home to find inspiration. And I have a beautiful plant in my living room that was my grandmother's that my mom gave to me. It's a real plant, it's a pothos, and that inspired this challenge. I want to talk about some of the savings challenges that are meant for lower dollar amounts, right? Not everything here has to be big life-changing savings goals. So enjoy a night at the movies. Color in a movie icon each time you save $5. I recently bought 2 movie tickets. It cost like $47. Doing this challenge would have given me enough to pay for those tickets. So we just have like a fun movie theme here with a goal of $50. This one is treat yourself for a spa day. Color in a candle every time you save $5 and then you will have $150. Of course, it depends on the spa costs. This one's also really fun. So the idea here was like an Amazon membership. Color in a section each time you save $15 towards your annual delivery service membership. My Amazon membership is probably about $150, and it was like, wouldn't it be nice if I started coloring these in, and then by the time that membership renews, I have that money put aside. This is basically like a sinking funds book, but of really fun, different kinds of money challenges. So now we have $500 to $2,500 activities and some information about those. And again, another big question, would you benefit from having a savings accountability buddy? Whom could you ask to be this person, and how can they help you stay accountable? And here's one that's a little bit more like a game. Roll a die 10 times. Depending on your budget, you can add 0 to the end of the number rolled or a 1 to the front of it and color in the dice after you save that amount. And then we continue with fun ones. This is a funny story as well. So this challenge was the first challenge that I did before I wrote the book. So when working with a publishing company, you give them a writing sample. They need to be able to see that I can actually write. So with the writing sample, they wanted me to also create a challenge to show them what this might look like for me. And this was not the final version of the challenge that I made, but very close to giving them a bit of an example of what this might look like. So some of these, like, they make me laugh and smile because it brings back the memories of doing this. You know, I didn't just like write a book and immediately it became published. This has been almost a year in the works, and it's really cool to see it all in person. So now we're getting into like the bigger dollar amounts. We even made a little bingo game. And when I was talking about the illustrations, so I created all these challenges. I created rough mock-ups of these, and then the company finalized them professionally because I don't have that artistic ability. We have a maze. A maze is really fun. There's just a lot of really unique ideas. Here's a goal to get a month ahead on expenses. Again, depending on your expense cost, you might change those numbers a little bit. We have a fun map of the US. We have a money tree to color in. And then this is probably one of my favorite types of challenges, and there are a few of them. There aren't many repeats, but we do have, I think, 4 of these affirmations. This one is, I am capable of achieving financial freedom. If you color in a letter, each time you save $25, you will reach $925 saved. I also want to point out, this book is not all meant to be finished within a year. The idea here is to look at different savings challenges that you may be interested in based on the dollar amounts and decide when your deadline is. Maybe you cut out, or not cut out, but rip out, because perforation, 4 of these. And every quarter you work on 4 of them, or 1 of them, or 10 of them, whatever your finances look like. You decide which ones you're going to work on and focus entirely on those. This book is meant to last a very long time. Like it said in the intro section, you could even go ahead and make copies of these and be able to use them over and over again. You could also laminate them, which I think would be really cool. So it's meant to be in line with where your finances are, whatever those look like, especially if you need to change the dollar amounts. So that is the next set of challenges. Then we have a little bit of an example of another affirmation. I have the power to improve my relationship with money, and this is coloring in a word each time you save $100. Another affirmation, another game, little vacation savings. Then we have the $2,500 plus activities. This might be activities that work over a period of a year or longer than a year. And we have the big question, how do you feel when you think about large financial commitments? Are you inspired, overwhelmed, scared, or motivated? How can you reframe any negative feelings into positive affirmations toward saving? And we have these bigger goals of a lot of money. So like this one is 5151. This is a draw an X over the box. Each time you save the corresponding amount, you don't need to go in order. So if I save $9, I can draw an X over the 9 or shade it in. And then whenever each amount of money becomes available, that amount is saved. This is another home example, sitting on my couch, looking at my dining room and seeing my bar cart and deciding to do a fun little bar cart here. This is a $5,000 savings challenge. We have $3,400, $7,800, $10,000, $2,500, $10,000, $6,000. I love this one. This is my year. Then we also included a 100 envelope challenge. This classic 100 envelope challenge is designed to help you save $5,050. You don't have to follow a set order or timeline. Just color in an envelope each time you save the dedicated amount. So we have 2 pages, 100 envelopes, as you know, like the basic 100 envelope challenge. Then we have some resources. So some recommended books, budgeting and finance apps, Instagram accounts, binders, and envelopes, acknowledgements, and about the author. And I want to read the acknowledgements because you are part of the acknowledgements. Thank you to my family for the endless, unwavering support and encouragement. I'm going to get emotional. And for being my biggest cheerleaders, to my online community for gifting me the space to grow and share my experience as we learn from each other. Thank you to my friends for your enthusiasm and check-ins and for believing in me throughout this journey. To my mom and Josh, you are my absolute everything, and I wouldn't be who I am without your love. Dad, the 17 years I had with you were a true gift, and I carry your heart with me in each step of my life. A very special thank you to Mason and Scarlett. Being your aunt lights up my world. And then there's me. So this is the book. Finally, it is here, and it is going to be available in stores and online November 26th. It is available online right now for pre-order. So if you are an Amazon shopper, I'm going to have links to shop below. Pre-ordering is really, really, really helpful for authors and publishing companies because it tells well, first of all, it's helpful for me as an author because it tells the publishing company that you're interested in the book, but it's also really helpful for the Amazon algorithm because it shows how high up in search results, like if someone is looking for budgeting or savings books, pre-orders help determine how high up those go. So if you're interested in picking it up, I think this is also a really great gift. I know someone who bought it as a wedding gift, who is giving it to family members for the holidays. It's really, I think, I think it's wonderful. I mean, I wrote it, but I'm really excited. Like I said, I gave this to my 9-year-old and 12-year-old niece and nephew because I think that there's challenges in here that they can really have a lot of fun with. I think this is great for couples who are trying to talk more about their finances. This can be a whole family thing. And I hope that you pick it up and that you love it. Thank you so much for your support and your patience with me as I just vaguely talked about a book all year and didn't tell you, or vaguely talked about a project all year and didn't tell you what it was. But again, there will be links in the description of the video. Thank you for watching and for your support, and I'll see you next time.